What would you do if the man you gave your soul to was plotting to bury your body instead of loving your heart? Would you run? Would you confront him? Or would you do what I did and become a ghost in your own life? They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, but I think they've never met a woman who knows the truth and says nothing. I was that woman, and this is how it all began. Good night, baby, Derek whispered, his voice barely a breath against the still air as he leaned over me. I kept my eyes shut, breathing slow and measured, the way I had practiced. His lips brushed my forehead, cold, dry, mechanical.
No warmth. No hesitation. No soul.
Just a routine. A performance. He lingered for a second. Or maybe he didn't. It was hard to tell anymore. Then the soft creak of the bedroom door. A pause. And finally the click. Silence. I opened my eyes. The ceiling stared back at me, blank and accusatory. 1:13 a.m. Always 1:13. At first, I believed the lie, late meetings, surprise audits, emergency calls from clients. But Derek's work phone had told a different story. No missed calls, no texts, no charge for days. It was just dead, like us. The second time, I followed him. I remember the night like a photograph etched in fire. He didn't see me slip out behind him. Didn't look back as he pulled away in his sleek black SUV. I took a cab, told the driver to stay far behind. My heart pounded so hard I thought it would give me away. And then we stopped. He stepped out into the soft neon glow of a downtown hotel. His coat was open, his tie loose. He looked alive. Alive in a way I hadn't seen in years. And then she appeared. A red dress, slit to the thigh. She looked barely 25, with skin like honey and a laugh that cracked through the night air like glass. She wrapped herself around him like ivy choking a tree. I sank deeper into the shadows across the street, my hands shaking as I pulled my hood over my head. They didn't see me, but I saw everything. Her. I thought you'd never come. I missed you. Him laughing softly. I missed you too, baby. You're my world. I can't breathe without you. The same words he used to whisper to me in the dark. I wanted to scream, to cry, to run across the street and tear them apart. But all I did was watch. Invisible. Just like the love I once gave freely, now ignored, now discarded. The cab driver asked, "Ma'am, you okay back there?" I said nothing, because how do you explain that your world just collapsed? In silence. You can't fake your death, Liv. That's illegal, reckless, and just plain crazy. Carla's voice cracked through the phone like a whip, sharp and panicked. I stared out the rain-streaked window of my condo, my reflection ghost-like in the glass. The city lights below blinked like warning signs, but I wasn't stopping now. Crazy, I whispered, a bitter smile playing on my lips. What's crazy is giving 10 years of your life to a man who looks you in the eyes every night, while booking hotel rooms for another woman. There was a pause on the line. Then Carla's voice softened. Liv, I know he hurt you. I know you're shattered. But you have money, power, a career. And none of that mattered when I heard him tell her, I wish my wife would just disappear. Silence. I could hear her breathing, stunned and heavy. I'm not just going to disappear, Carla. My voice was flat now, ice on steel. I'm going to die. At least, that's what Derek will believe. Jesus, Liv, Carla whispered. You're scaring me. I turned from the window, my eyes falling to the table. Scattered with forged documents, burner phones, a detailed notebook marked exit strategy. Good, I said, because fear is the only thing that keeps people alive. I can't help you with this, she muttered. I won't. I'm not asking for help, I said coldly. I just needed someone to know. In case things go wrong. Go wrong? Liv, listen to yourself. What if you actually get caught? What if Derek finds you? This isn't a movie. No, I said, lifting the phone to my ear with a steady hand. This is real life. And in real life, women like me don't get happy endings. We get replaced, forgotten, erased.
Carla sighed.
So what's the plan then? You vanish and he gets away with everything. I chuckled. Oh, sweetheart, He won't be getting away with anything. A beat. What did you do? Carla asked, voice barely above a whisper. Let's just say, I slid the envelope across the table with gloved hands, sealed and ready to be delivered anonymously. By the time I'm dead, Derek will be wishing he was too. Carla gasped. Olivia. Goodbye, Carla. I ended the call and turned off the phone. I dropped it in the sink and watched it sizzle and die under boiling water. Then I looked in the mirror. Tonight, Olivia Davis would die, and someone else would be born. The storm that night was nature's gift. Thunder cracked like gunfire across the hills, and rain poured in sheets, erasing every trace. Every tire mark, every footprint, every clue. My accident was flawless. A silver sedan veered off Devil's Bend Highway and exploded on impact. The flames did the rest, melting the body, blackening the ID, turning the scene into a charred, tragic puzzle. The body? A Jane Doe from the city morgue. Unclaimed. Forgotten. Bought through a fixer with a debt and no conscience. The blood? Mine, drawn weeks ago and dripped with surgical precision. The fingerprints? Burned beyond recognition. They'd find just enough to believe the story, not enough to question it. The next morning, the headlines screamed, breaking. Wife of real estate mogul, Olivia Cross, dies in fiery wreck. Photos of the wreckage were everywhere. News anchors droned on about brake failure, wet roads, a tragic accident. I watched it all unfold from a dingy motel room 3 towns away, my new passport tucked beneath my pillow. Then came Derek, standing before cameras in a sleek black suit, his voice heavy with manufactured grief. She was my everything, he choked out, dabbing the corner of his dry eyes. I can't imagine life without her. I laughed, a full, hollow laugh that bounced off the motel walls. You imagined it just fine, Derek. You rehearsed it with her. 2 days later, my burner phone buzzed. Unknown number. Live stream. Derek Cross private engagement party. I tapped the link, and there it was. The beach, our beach, the one where he knelt in the sand and promised me forever. The sun was setting in the same spot, painting the sky the same color as it had the day he swore I was his only love. And now, he was on one knee again, this time before her. The woman in the red dress. Her laughter was high and sparkling as she held out her hand, and Derek slipped my ring, the same emerald-cut diamond he once swore had a piece of his soul inside, onto her finger. The crowd cheered. I whispered, "Say yes, darling. Smile wide." Because this was exactly what I needed. He thought I was gone, but I was watching, waiting. Every move he made now was a thread in the web I was weaving. And when I returned, it wouldn't be as Olivia Cross. It would be as his reckoning. 3 weeks. That's how long it took for Derek to desecrate what was once our home. He moved her into my walk-in closet, my marble bathtub, my bed. She wore my silk robes like costumes, stood before my mirror like she belonged there. But mirrors don't lie, and neither do ghosts. So I became one. Started small, subtle. A perfume bottle rolling off the vanity, no wind, no movement, just gravity bending to my will. Then the candles. One by one, they flickered to life in the hallway as she passed. She screamed. He brushed it off. But I knew the house better than they ever could. I had it wired, mapped, owned. The hidden speakers I installed in the vents years ago, for ambient music, I had told Derek, now had a new purpose. That night I made sure he was alone. The lights dimmed for just a second, enough to unsettle, and then softly, from nowhere and everywhere at once. Derek! He froze. I watched him through the nanny cam hidden inside the painting in the study. He turned slowly, looking toward the vent above the fireplace. Silence. Then again. Where's my ring, Derek? He stumbled back. Who's there? He called out. Who the hell is in this house? The woman ran in, startled. What's wrong? I heard something, he barked. Voices. Olivia's voice. She blinked. Babe, she's dead. Maybe you're just tired. He paced, sweating, rubbing his temples.
No.
No, it was her. I swear to God it was her. I wasn't finished. Later that night, just as he closed his eyes, I never said goodbye, Derek. He sat up, gasping. The woman stirred beside him. You're scaring me, she said. He shoved the blankets off and stormed to the closet. I'm calling someone. This house isn't clean. Something's wrong. You're what's wrong, I thought. He hired a priest the next day. Holy water, chants, cleansings. But it didn't work. Because I wasn't a ghost. I was justice in silk gloves. And justice doesn't rest. He's losing it, Carla. Full spiral. He hasn't slept. Barely eats. He talks to shadows now. I whispered into my burner phone. My eyes locked on the surveillance feed. From my hidden flat, I watched Derek pace the bedroom like a caged animal. He flinched at every creak, every flicker of light. On the other end of the line, Carla exhaled hard. Liv, you need to stop this. It's gone far enough. You made your point. I paused. Then coldly, no, not yet. Not until he begs. That night, the storm returned as if summoned. Thunder cracked. Wind howled through the chimney. The perfect encore. In the flickering light of 1,000 unslept nights, he finally broke. I watched through the hidden camera tucked in the chandelier as he stood in the center of the living room, arms trembling, chest heaving. I'm sorry, Olivia, he screamed into the dark. I didn't mean for you to die. I just wanted out. He collapsed, fists pounding the hardwood, breath ragged. Red Dress rushed to him. Derek, please. What's happening to you? He slapped her hand away like it stung. You're not her, he roared. You'll never be her. Her face crumbled. He didn't notice, because his world was unraveling thread by thread, and I was pulling every one of them. Then, it happened. A knock on the door. A slow, deliberate knock. Once, twice, then silence. He stood slowly, unsteady, eyes wide, as if every ghost story he'd ever heard had suddenly grown bones. He opened the door, and saw me, alive, standing in the rain, wearing the white lace dress I wore the day we wed. Soaked now, clinging to my skin like a second, vengeful layer of memory. His breath hitched, the blood drained from his face. Why you're dead. I tilted my head, stepping into the light. Surprise. His legs buckled. He dropped to his knees. Olivia, please. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I thought you were gone. You thought wrong. My voice was a blade dipped in silk. You thought you buried me, Derek. I stepped forward, dripping water onto the marble floor. But I buried us the moment you gave her what was mine. He sobbed like a man already damned. Behind him, Red Dress stood frozen, mouth agape, mascara streaking. The living room clock ticked. Tick, tock, reckoning. Derek staggered back like he'd seen death rise from its grave. Oh, Olivia, he stuttered, his voice barely a whisper. You're dead. I buried you. I took one deliberate step forward, rain dripping from my white dress onto his polished floor. No, Derek, you buried the truth. And now, I smiled coldly. The truth is home. His hand trembled against the doorframe, knuckles white. Behind him, Tasha peeked out from the hallway, clutching his shirt like a child hiding behind her father. She gasped when she saw me. Is this a prank? She asked, voice quivering. She's supposed to be dead. I finished for her, tilting my head. You believed everything he told you, just like I once did. Tasha backed up, her face pale. I didn't know. I thought you were gone. Derek told me. Derek tells everyone what they need to hear. He's good at that, I said, my gaze locked on his. Derek tried to compose himself, wiping sweat from his brow. Liv, please. I didn't mean for this to happen. I was confused. Broken. Broken, I echoed. You weren't broken when you kissed her at the same beach where you proposed to me, or when you gave her my ring. Tasha's eyes widened. Wait, this ring? This was hers. She tore it off and threw it at Derek's chest. You liar. Please, Tasha. He reached for her, but she recoiled. I didn't sign up for this ghost wife vengeance story, she snapped, grabbing her purse. I'm out. She turned for the door. I stepped in front of it, calm as ice. No one's leaving. Tasha froze. Not yet, I whispered. Derek's voice cracked. What do you want from us? I leaned in close, my voice smooth and steady. The truth. And then, a reckoning. Thunder cracked outside as the lights flickered. Tasha whimpered. Derek looked like he was seconds from collapsing again. And I finally felt alive. Derek slumped onto the velvet sofa. Our sofa once. Like the weight of his sins had finally crushed him. He buried his face in his hands. You don't understand, Liv. I felt invisible, like a trophy husband. You were powerful, perfect. I was just decoration. I tilted my head slowly. So you thought you'd feel like a man again by lying between her legs? He winced. I never wanted you dead, he croaked. I didn't plan it that way. But you didn't stop it either, I said softly, venom hidden in the silk of my voice. When the world thought I was gone, you didn't mourn. You celebrated. He looked up at me, eyes bloodshot. I panicked. When I heard about the crash, I thought it was fate. Fate, I echoed with a bitter laugh. You mean freedom. That's what you really thought you earned. He swallowed hard. I stepped closer and dropped a heavy black folder on the coffee table. It landed with a slap that made him jump. He stared at it. Go on. Open it. His fingers hesitated before unlatching the clasp. As he flipped through the contents, photographs of secret dinners, printed hotel bookings, ATM receipts, a hidden account in Dubai, even grainy shots of him unlocking an apartment door under Tasha's name. His complexion drained to chalk. Then came the last item, an audio file. I pressed play on my phone. His voice, clear, sleazy, whispering in bed. If Olivia was out of the way, we could finally live. For real. No more hiding. Derek flinched. You recorded me? I stared him down. Did you really think I'd die without a plan, Derek? I built empires. You think I'd leave without a parachute? His mouth opened, but no words came. You underestimated me? I whispered, crouching to his level. Again. He leaned back, defeated. This is blackmail, he muttered weakly. No, I said, standing tall. This is justice, beginning to bloom. I took a slow, measured breath. And I'm just getting started. I stood in the center of the room that used to echo with laughter, now dripping with tension. Derek sat frozen on the edge of the couch, eyes wide, breath shallow. Tasha lingered near the staircase, one heel half off, clutching her purse like it was a lifeline. I folded my arms and began to pace, each step deliberate. I've narrowed it down to 2 options, Derek, I said coolly. Let's call them justice or mercy. He swallowed hard. Option 1, I continued, circling him like a predator. I go to the police. Fraud, deceit, attempted theft. You tried to cash in on a dead woman's life and I have the receipts, literally. The timing, the offshore accounts, the proposal on a dead woman's honeymoon spot. Even a rookie detective could connect the dots. I didn't try to kill you, he croaked, voice trembling. Didn't have to, I snapped. You just sat back and let the world think I was gone. Because it was convenient. I leaned down, our faces inches apart. But here's option 2. He flinched. You give me everything. The house, the cars, the investments, the art you never appreciated, the shares under my name, every asset you acquired while standing on my reputation. I paused. And then you disappear. Quietly. Forever. You can't just erase me, he said, voice cracking. This is my life too. I smiled like a knife unsheathing. Oh, Derek, I already did. His face contorted in confusion and fear. What do you mean? I moved all the assets 2 weeks ago, while you were busy playing husband to your replacement. Power of attorney never died, even when I did. You never revoked it. I dropped a set of documents on the table. It's all mine, legally, irrevocably. His mouth opened, closed. He looked like a fish gasping for air. That's when he turned to Tasha. Baby, you won't let her. but she was already stepping into her heels, eyes cold. "Don't look at me," she said, slinging her purse over her shoulder. "You told me she was dead. You didn't say she'd rise from the ashes like some vengeful phoenix." She paused, glaring at him. "She's not a ghost. She's the storm you invited in." Then she turned to me. "Honestly? Respect." I nodded slightly. "Smart woman." She left without another word. Derek slumped back, hands trembling. I walked to the front door, but before stepping out, I turned one last time. "Oh, and Derek?" He looked up with hollow eyes. "I did come back from hell, but not to collect souls." I tilted my head, voice soft, slow, dangerous. "I came for yours." Then I closed the door behind me. And this time it was me who disappeared. By the end of the week, Derek had lost everything. His empire crumbled like sand through desperate fingers. Investors pulled out. His name was scrubbed off company doors like graffiti. His inner circle vanished into thin air. Suddenly, no one knew him. The same men who toasted him with champagne now barely nodded in passing, if they saw him at all. The media devoured it. Wife returns from the dead to expose husband's double life. Real estate mogul's perfect life burned to ashes by the wife he betrayed. Reporters camped outside his last known apartment. Tasha? Gone. Probably halfway to Bali on a one-way ticket and a trail of resentment. His face, once smug with power, was now sunken with shame in every paparazzi shot. He looked like a man being eaten alive by his own ghosts, and I was one of them. He tried to call. Burner phones, unknown numbers, emails from fake names like Daniel Stone and Concerned Citizen. I ignored them all, until 3:03 a.m. My phone buzzed once, twice. I let it ring, then I picked up silent. "Olivia." His voice was ragged, barely more than a whisper. "Please, I don't have anyone else." I said nothing. "I'm sorry," he rasped. "I'm homeless, sleeping in my car. I haven't eaten in 2 days. They froze my accounts. The ones I didn't already give you. You took everything." Still, I said nothing. "I have nothing left. Just say something." The silence between us was colder than the night air outside his car window. Then I finally spoke. "You once said," I began slowly, "that you wished I would disappear." He sucked in a breath like he'd been punched. "Yes," he whispered, regret dripping from every syllable. I paused, letting the moment hang. "Well," I said, voice sharp as a dagger, "now it's your turn." And I hung up. No goodbye, no pity, only the sound of a dead line, and a man finally knowing what it felt like to be truly, completely alone. I stood in front of the mirror, my mirror, the same one that once reflected a woman desperate to be loved, now staring back at someone else entirely. Not to fix my hair, not to admire my face, but to see if the reflection would flinch. Didn't. The room was silent, save for the faint ticking of the vintage clock on the mantel, each second whispering, "You survived." I stared harder. My lips parted slightly, as if I expected me to speak first. Then the silence broke. "You're not broken," my reflection said. Her voice was mine, but deeper, stronger, laced with fire. "You're reborn." I blinked, stunned, but I didn't look away. She leaned forward slightly, her eyes fierce. "He thought burying you would be the end, but you were never meant to stay underground." A slow smirk curved across her face, and mine. "You burned everything he touched," she whispered, "and rose from the ashes." I exhaled shakily, pressing a hand against the glass. "I did what I had to do," I said aloud. "I lost myself for him once. I'll never do it again." My reflection nodded, her face calm, powerful. No more pretending, no more shrinking. And with that, I turned away, not in shame but in peace. Behind me, the mirror didn't lie. It never did. Dear viewers, what lessons did you take from this dramatic tale? Was Olivia right to fake her death? Or did she go too far? We love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, give us a thumbs up, share it with friends, and and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on our latest update. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay safe and be blessed.